This video walks you through how to create an invoice. To begin, click on Start New Invoice from the main menu. Portions of the page that appear will auto-populate to help you complete the form in a timely manner. Examples of this include the incident date and time. If the invoice has been created after the fact, the date will need to be adjusted accordingly by clicking on the calendar icon and selecting the appropriate incident date using the calendar tool. If the time needs to be changed, that can be changed as well by typing the actual time into this box. Organization will also automatically populate based on the active user's account. The PO number is a mandatory field and is where you can enter your own internal PO numbers. This value will be used to track invoices moving forward. Using the drop-down list here, you can identify who the callout was requested by. Only host fire departments can submit an invoice for an incident. The definition of the host is provided by hovering over this help icon. If a fire department is not the host, they cannot submit an invoice. However, if you are the host and other fire departments responded to the scene, you can enter the other fire departments here by selecting them from the drop-down list and then adding them. An unlimited number of fire departments can be added. The emergency details section provides a simple way to capture the high-level details of the incident, while a more detailed narrative can be provided later on. The location of the incident can be easily identified by moving the pin on the map to the proper location. This functionality uses Google Maps, which may be familiar to some. By default, the pin will be located centrally within the region that your fire department services, but you can zoom in and out to relocate the pin to the incident location. You can also enter addresses here directly to be relocated to a specific location on the map. It is important, however, to remember to add the municipality and the highway, as this will be used internally going forward. The police information is important to provide if it is available, but in situations where a collision report is not created, these fields can be left blank. The invoice line item section is where specific apparatus details can be provided. The apparatus owner will default to your own fire department, while any additional supporting fire departments that may have been identified above will also be available in the drop-down list. Apparatus codes and rates are available for selection. So when you select the apparatus code, its rate will automatically be displayed. By defining the date that the apparatus left the station, as well as the date it returned, we can calculate the duration that the apparatus was used by using the calculator button here. Duration populates based on the times provided. However, it should be noted that in situations where times are entered under 60 minutes, the duration will calculate at 1 hour. For rates where times are between 1 hour and 1 hour and 14 minutes, the rate will calculate as 1 hour, or 2 hours in this situation. Above 13 minutes, we'll round up to the next half hour. A description is mandatory for each line item being created, and then when you click Add, it saves the invoice line item details and enables you to then add additional line item details. Once all of your line items have been entered, you can review them in the table here. If you entered any duplicate or any in error, just simply click on the Delete button, confirm that you want to delete that record, and it will be removed from the table. Likewise, if you want to edit any records, for instance here, click on the Edit icon. All of the values that you had previously entered appear up here, and then you can simply change, let's say here we're changing the time frame, we're going to recalculate, and then we're going to update that line item. The Vehicles Involved section is where you can enter the driver and vehicle ownership information. The system then uses Google address lookup to autocomplete addresses as you type them. The incident details section is a mandatory field for the purposes of providing your claims officer with enough detail to understand the incident. It's a free-form text box that really builds upon the emergency details that you entered above. As discussed in previous videos, in the new system there are two types of fire department roles, users and approvers. Invoices can only be submitted by users that have an approver role, which means that since we are currently logged in as a user, we need to notify our approver that the invoice that we just created is ready for approval. To do this, we complete the intake review portion, which assigns the invoice to the user identified in the Assign To field. In most cases, there will only be one approver for each fire department, so this field will already be populated for you. You can enter any comments here. If you wish to send an email to your approver, you can by checking either one of these boxes, and then you save your review. What this does is it puts this invoice on your approver's pending approval list for them to then go in and approve. We'll walk through how to do the approval piece in another upcoming video. There's a document section at the end of the page where you can add documents if you choose to. So if there are photos of the scene or various other documents that you feel need to be submitted to support your invoice, you can add them there. Besides that, at this point we've completed everything that we need to as the user, and we can save the page.